Hi everyone, welcome to my podcast episode 5. Today I am recording from my studio at my home and I'm not outside. From here I can see my garden and I can see my waterfall and birds are all ready coming around to play and to have their breakfast. And the reason why my studio is facing towards the garden is to help me reduce my eye strain and to take a little break recording this while doing some work for a commission project. What I wanted to discuss today is about how you work when you get a project. If you take, when a client first comes to you, you have to find out the reason, the targeted group and the details that you need to include in your design. It could be a flyer design, a website or a video. For all those things you need to know those basic information, because depending on those details will give an impact to the design that you are doing. If your client wants to do a design for a kids clothing brand and instead of that you try to create a design for an adult brand, it won't work. So you have to think about those things and ask from the client if they are trying to target the parents to buy kids clothes or they want to highlight specific things from the clothing brand, like the comfort, the quality of the fabrics, those kind of things. So think about the way they want to market their product, because every design that we do, especially when it comes to commission project, most of the time it's for a brand or a commercial thing. So we have to always think about the targeted group, age range and how they are going to market it. You have to think of those. The next thing is you need to know all the details, all the proper details. Like some companies, they do have their brand guide, and remember, if they have a brand guide, you need to stick to it. You can't use fonts that you prefer. You have to have the same fonts. And if you don't have those fonts and if they are commercial fonts and it's way above your project budget that you have discussed with them, always remember to ask them to give you the fonts, and most of the time they are happy to provide you with it. And same goes with the images. Some brand guides, they would give details about how they want their images to be placed, as well as how they want their logos to be placed. Another little thing that I need to mention when I talk about logos, this is something I've experienced myself. When I was doing work for my commission projects, I have had clients who have got logos in very low resolution and in very small sizes. You can't do anything with. You can't even scale it up, or you can't use it in print media, or even in websites. There are times you might not be able to use it. So if you are a logo designer, please consider providing with your client a vector file, a PDF file which is in high resolution. And remember, there's something called CMYK and RGB. Those are color modes, and you need to realize when you provide a logo, remember to give your client the files in those two formats, because most of the time when you have an RGB file, when we convert it to CMYK, the colors might be dark and not what actually the buyer got from you. Because when it comes to print, we can't print it in RGB mode. It has to be CMYK, and when we convert your logos into CMYK, it turns out to be a little different from the original, and it's not a nice thing to have. And the file size, don't give them very small logos. Instead of doing that, be mindful and helpful to your buyers or your clients who have no idea about the technical things, to give them a high resolution vector file, a PDF if you can, because it will be helpful and they will be grateful to you. And the other thing I missed out on the brand guides is, brand guides, they will have about the fonts, how you can place the logos, about the images, as well as the brand colors and how you need to incorporate those colors. When you are designing, you need to bear those in your mind. As the work progresses, work progresses, you might not need to keep them updated all the time, but once in a while, let them know you are doing this, and if you are missing something, let them know and ask for those details and clarify with them, like show them some of your ideas and get their feedback before you send them the final draft design. When it comes to me, I sometimes provide 2 sample designs, draft designs, so the buyer have an option to select what they think is best out of those 2. And I limit that number to 2 designs, is when you give more choices to your client, they get confused and they will end up selecting one part from this one, that part, another part from the other design. Like that, they will try to combine all those things together, and that will be a whole mess. So remember, if you are giving draft sample designs, always remember to stick to 2 designs and give them only 2 options, so the selection and the modifications will be easier for you. The next thing is communication. When you are doing a design, communication is a key point. Having a friendly communication with your client is a must, because being on friendly terms with a buyer will help you to gain their trust, and they might end up being your repeated clients when you are working as a freelancer. When it comes to modifications, rule number 1, don't give unlimited revisions. I'll tell a little story what happened to me. I had one buyer who wanted a design change after the order was completed almost 2 years ago. And she was telling me that she had those days I was only giving 3 revisions, and she was telling me she has 2 more revisions left, so can I get it done for free? And remember, the order was completed 2 years back. I said no, but if you want to do the changes, you have to pay up a little price for it. And after that she didn't contacted me, and she was trying to get free work done on that file that I did 2 years back. So bear in mind, don't give unlimited revisions, because when you give unlimited revisions you will end up with doing so much of work, and if you take your first design draft to the end result, it might be totally different, and you might have spent weeks and months on it, and the amount that you have got for it might be the same as the first one, unless you are willing to fight and bargain and let them know that they need to pay up for all those changes that you need, that you have done. So be prepared. So being prepared and finalizing what they finally want and the number of revisions that you will give is a must when you discuss. Remember that. It's a tip number it's a tip, remember that. And when it comes to the final delivery, when you do the final delivery, depending on the type of the work that you do, if it's a web design or a video or a graphic, I don't have much experience on delivering video or website things, because I don't do those things as commission projects, but I do them in my free time. Remember to deliver everything that you have mentioned in your first discussion with your buyer. Don't deliver half projects. And I know there are some who do that to get more time, to get the modification request. Don't do that. If you need more time, open up and tell your buyer you need extra time because of something, and ask to extend your order delivery time, which is a good practice, rather than delivering your half designed files and getting a warning and getting banned from the system. Bear that in mind. When you deliver all the files that you have mentioned to your buyer, and be sure that you are delivering the right files and to the right client if you have several projects at hand. And make sure you don't go on asking them to leave reviews. It's okay to remind them once, but not in a direct manner, in an indirect way. Maybe you can ask them to complete your order without asking them to give you 5-star ratings or a review. It might be helpful. Because remember, I hope you have read all the new terms and services and the community guidelines on the Fiverr platform that they have updated recently. You must have seen a lot of new things in there. But bear in mind, never cross the line and never communicate outside of the Fiverr system. Remember that, because it's a big no-no and you have to stick to the rules. I have told you that I have been working on the platform for about 12 years now, and I have never got a warning, and that's because I never broke any rules, and I stick to the rules when I do my work. And even if someone tries their very best to contact you outside of Fiverr, be strict, say no, and ask them to send all the details on the Fiverr platform itself. Because once you are banned from the system, you will not be able to start your Fiverr journey again. So bear in mind, now you know there's verification going on, and if you have gone through the community guidelines, you might see one person can have one account. You have done hard work, and just because of breaking one rule, think if you are going to lose your hard work, or are you going to stick to the rules and go through doing your best work on the platform. Think about it a little bit and think how you want it to be. These are the little tips that I wanted to tell you all, and I'm sorry I'm rushing a little bit today because of my commission projects that I have in my hand, and I have a bit more work to finish off. So I will see you guys next time. Have a nice day and bye.